Really, the engineer is the one that's doing a lot of the work here with the evil version of Superman. And I also think that's how he gets into the Fortress of Solitude, is that the Fortress just recognizes the DNA of this evil Superman and thinks that it's regular Superman, so it opens the door. That's one of the security protocols that the Fortress has. Kryptonian security is just coded to Superman's DNA, which is probably also why Supergirl can get in, because she shares some DNA, like he's part of his family biologically. We're supposed to get a Millie Alcock Supergirl cameo scene at the end of this movie, I think, where she comes to pick Krypto up. I think during the movie, the way they've talked about it is that Superman is just dog-sitting Krypto for her, and Krypto is really her dog. But basically during this scene, you see the engineer and the evil version of Superman just completely ripping through all of the different robots here. RIP to these robots. We get a little bit of her powers too, we didn't see in the previous trailer. Her body basically works a little bit like the T-1000 during Terminator 2. She can also interface with and control machines. But it seems like this is where Lex Luthor steps up to the Kryptonian console and gets the information that he needs and uses it against Superman. You also get a cool background look at the Fortress of Solitude too, like a much better look at all the different rooms in it in the background. We get a little voiceover from Pa Kent and Ma Kent, who gives us the moral message of the actual movie, which you see in a lot of other movies too. Pa Kent typically does this in all the movies that he appears in. Basically explain to Superman his responsibility to the world. And in the last couple of weeks, the report on this creature in the background that it seems like Green Lantern is fighting is that supposedly it's actually just a black hole of some kind that Lex Luthor also creates. Like, whatever it is, it's just something else that Lex Luthor has created. This looks like a flashback to Superman when he was a little boy. James Gunn also clarified that the Kent farm, they actually live in a double-wide trailer, not a traditional farmhouse like we've seen in previous Superman movies or TV shows, because he said he wanted it to feel more like the Missouri farmers that he grew up around, instead of like your traditional Superman big farmhouse. So the idea is that Superman is meant to have grown up extremely poor, like in extreme poverty. I think it's also meant to be a nice contrast with someone like Lex Luthor, who has nearly infinite money. Just wait till he meets Batman Bruce Wayne if he hasn't already. He'll make Lex Luthor seem like he's poor. There's a brief shot of Mr. Terrific getting out of his ship with his T-spheres. This seems like it's part of that scene in the foreign country where he saves Lois Lane. We also see Green Lantern Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion's character, using his Green Lantern ring to take out some of the forces here. Not totally clear what's going on here with Ma and Pa Kent helping him while he's passed out in bed, probably after just one of the big battles in the movie. But I do love the way at the end of the trailer that they had the corresponding scene of him waking up, like coming back to consciousness with Krypto just on top of him, like a normal dog would rest on top of you. If you've ever had a dog, no matter how big the dog is, the dog will always try to sleep on top of you. I've grown up my entire life having labs for the most part. They're not the biggest breed of dogs, but they're much bigger than Krypto. In every single one of those labs, no matter how big they got, would always try to sleep on top of you. We also see Lois Lane inside his childhood bedroom on the Kent farm. Just seems like he's absolutely out cold here. There are a couple of details around his room too that you see in the other shots, like childhood awards, trophies that he won when he was a little kid, his diploma from high school, from Smallville High School. We get a scene of what seems like the pocket universe that Lex Luthor has created where he traps Superman with a version of Metamorpho. Miss Tessmacher is here too for some reason, not totally sure why she's in here in that dress. These people in the suits are just Lex Luthor's people wearing the armor that he creates. I think the reason why Metamorpho is in that cell with them, helping them subdue Superman, is because they're using his powers to change himself into Kryptonite. Like he can literally transform himself into Kryptonite, like you see during the cartoons here.